We know there have been significant delays in issuing certificates of sponsorship, which is COS. Did you know that 7 out of 10 new sponsorship applications now face compliance visits? And 80% of COS are delayed due to requests for additional information from those smaller licensed companies. But do you know the real reasons behind these delays? It's largely due to an increase in compliance audit visits from the Home Office. They thoroughly check your HR systems and employee records, including personal information, job contracts, timesheet, holidays, emergency contacts, visa options, and many more. Failing to provide evidence of proper record keeping and reporting can lead to license suspension or revocation. If your license is revoked, all migrant workers' visas will be cancelled immediately. Today, we'll dive into the topic with our special guest, but first, a quick introduction about myself. I'm Sarika and welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. If you're looking to study abroad in any of these listed countries, make sure to fill out the form which is provided in my video description and pinned comment, and my team will reach out to you. So without any further delay, let's get started with today's video and introduce you to Naga, the founder of UK COS, one of the top HR compliance software solutions recommended by several solicitors. Hi Naga, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy.
Yeah, hello Sarika. Thank you for hosting me here.
Okay, so given that you are an expert in the digital compliance software, can you just talk about what is UK COS?
Okay, so UKVI is a typical HR system. You are in IT, so you know about the HR system.
Yeah.
But there are separate rules and regulations for Home Office compliance. Right? So our software is a HR system specialized for UKVI.
Okay.
So that is the Home Office. That's why you call us UKVI compliance and sponsorship.
Right.
So
okay.
UKVI CAS compliance and sponsorship.
Right.
So we are specialized in providing compliance check for our customers, right? Those who are doing sponsorship license, right?
So Naga, for my audience, because I have not covered this topic before, just for them and for me as well to learn along the process, can you just explain a little bit what is digital compliance check? When the Home Office go and do the checks, what are they doing and what is their expectation and why are the companies failing?
Yes. It's a good question. Like many of the people doesn't know what is a digital compliance check. So here in UK, if you register a company, right, you have some set of rules and regulations. So you have to follow the company laws, and then when you apply for a sponsorship license, so you agree the government that you have some additional responsibilities. So they call it as duties. Like there are sponsorship duties, record keeping duties, and reporting duties. So these three are the major duties for a licensed sponsor. So the day you got your license, your duty starts, right? And the day it will go, you have to maintain this thing till you surrender your license. Right? So every day you have to maintain this these three duties.
Okay.
Right? I'll explain these duties one by one.
Yeah.
So most of them are in practice, but the government expects to document these duties. Right? So one example, the record keeping duties, which is a basic duty of a company as well as a sponsor license holder, right? So what is record keeping duty? Once you hire an employee, right, you have to collect certain amount of information from the employee. It's a very basic information like their date of birth, their passport detail, their visa detail, their email address, phone number, their address, right? On top of it, you have to do some additional checks like right to work. So for any person working in the company, irrespective of whether you have a license or not, as per the UK company law, if you hire somebody for your company, you have to do a right to work check. It's simple. If it is a British citizen, right, you just need to check their passport or their birth certificate. That says that they are eligible to work. If they are non-British, then there is an online process. So you have to ask your potential employee to share a share code. You have to verify the share code, you have to download the document and keep it with you. So that document is a proof that it is a right to work check done. I am saying, in my experience, 40 to 50% of the sponsor license holder, they are not even aware of this process.
What? Oh my God.
It is a blunder I am saying, like in terms of, I'm sorry to use that word, but it is a basic thing. It's not only a sponsorship company. Any company in UK, if they are hiring somebody, they have to do a right to work check. Right? We saw many cases. We are working closely with solicitors, as you know, right? So we have a lot of discussion about this thing. So when they start the digital complaint, the first thing they check is like whether you did a right to work check for all your employees. And you have to maintain the records, right? So our software help the customers to maintain all this information in a single portal. Right? So majority of the HR softwares are designed for a general public use, which is like a very complex for the end customer. For example, our customers are not only the technical companies. So 70% of my customers are from the retail segment. So they either have 2 or 3 employees running a corner shop, off license, a laundry agent, massage center, restaurants, takeaway. So all these companies now they have a license, right? They don't have such IT skills to explore these complex HR systems, right? Correct. To understand that is difficult for them. Already they have the business overload, other overloads. On top of it, they have to maintain these HR complaints. It's a big load. So we designed the software in a very simple format so that anyone who have a little understanding of English, if they can operate email, then they can operate our system. So I'll share some of the screenshots after the program, which you can show it to your customer. That's a very simplest approach, right? So you don't need to have a specialized knowledge or training to maintain it. And moreover, if you start using the system tells you like how to keep complaints, right? And then when there is a digital complaints check, you have to show to the home office that you are maintaining all these records. So luckily, like in our software, I think 30 to 40 questions are come from the HR questions.
Right. Okay.
So for the 30 questions, most of the answers are in a single screen. So the user doesn't need to go to navigate multiple menus to find some information. Everything they can see it from a single screen. So with a single click, they can show whatever question home office has, they can show it in the screen. So that makes their life very easy. So think about if you maintain all these things into a papers, right? And if you have to keep the hard copies of all the records, how difficult to search, right? And moreover, the biggest challenge with maintaining manual process, right? If your passport is getting expired, you hired an employee last year. Over the period, you forget that he is an immigrant worker. If his visa is expiring or his right to work check is expiring, how do you came to know? You cannot
system will not alert.
But whereas like in our system, like we have a proper alert mechanism. So it starts alerting you from the 180 days before. And once it is crossed 90 days, it sends you an alert every day. So that the person who is operating the software, right, they know that there is some problem. So they need to go and fix the visa, right to work or the passport. This is one of the key questions asked by the home office if you are maintaining manual. So maintaining a manual, it puts additional 10 questions. Right? Already they are asking 30 questions. So you have to, if you maintain manual, they'll ask additional 10 questions and most of the questions you cannot answer. Okay. Right? So that is why.
So I've learned so many things from you. I'm going to just absorb it a little bit and take a step back. Okay. So what I have learned, if you guys are watching this video, if you're employers, especially I see problem with the new employers or small employers who just doesn't know everything, especially digital compliance checks, which Naga is talking about. If you need an expert advice, make sure you reach out to him. Second thing I've learned that if you're working, if you guys are employed by small employers, of course I believe that the big companies or medium-sized companies, they are quite knowledgeable or they have a better understanding because they have a dedicated team and budget to run such kind of systems. I think the small companies are kind of failing at the moment because they don't have budget or they don't have the knowledge to have such kind of systems. So if you guys are working in the UK currently with any small firm, go back and question your employer. Are they digital compliant? Do they have a proper system? Because remember, if the employer's COS gets cancelled, your visa will be cancelled. So you are impacted. So if you're watching this video, make sure both employers and employee take an action if you don't have a system where you can keep a proper record. Because if the home office makes a check, you guys will be at risk. So make sure you reach out to Naga so that he can help you.
And one of the important thing, like which I would like to highlight it, why we are discussing this topic now? Because we are running this business for quite long. But why suddenly like everybody started facing this? Why you started thinking about this topic? The reason is last year, like if there are 100 companies applying for a sponsorship license, 80% of the company they get the license. Only 20% people they appear for the digital compliance check.
Right. Okay.
It is last year's story, but this year, if 100 companies are applying for license, 80% of the company they have to go through the digital compliance check pre-checks. So before even giving the license, they will come, they will check, they will set up a team session. You have to explain whether you have system in place. Then only they will sponsor they will provide the license.
Okay. Why do you think Naga? There's so much of changes happening in the whole process by the home office. It wasn't the case a couple of years ago. Is it because of the scams happening around or the number of companies which are starting now or they are hiring more immigrants than they thought? So what's the main reason?
There are two major reasons. So like we can say it's before COVID and after COVID. So after the COVID happened, right? So the home office having less number of staff, right? And there is a huge demand for the immigrants. I think you know the impacts of Brexit, right? After Brexit, they were facing challenges in the immigration. They are lack of immigrant people to do most of the jobs, like low skilled or say like some complex skilled jobs, right? So they are in need of people. So they want to bring people from outside, right? So that's why the tier 2 general visa was scrapped and they brought the skilled worker.
Yeah.
So during our time, there's a cap. Only
Yeah.
20,000 skilled worker can bring from outside.
Yeah.
So in 2020, they scrapped the law. So they brought the skilled worker license. So any number of applicants can come to UK.
True.
So and then they started giving licenses of small firms as well. So eventually, that time it was 30,000 mark, 30,000 license sponsor in UK. But within 3 years, it was now 1,30,000.
True, that's
So
true.
it went 400% increased, right? And now there are more immigrants, less jobs. Also, there is a housing crisis here. So for all the immigrants and for all the refugees, right, they don't have the housing. So they have somehow to balance the crowd, right? So they want to check whether all these immigrants are lawfully staying in this country. The company who are hiring the immigrants are legally operating the business. They have the capacity to operate. So that is the reason they started this process.
Yeah.
And moreover, in February, there was a discussion you might have seen in the papers. Like they plan to put 1,000 employee workforce into the home office segment.
Yes, that's true.
To go and scrutinize all the things. Say their objective is not to cancel your license. Their objective is to find whether you are operating in a right way, whether you are compliant to the laws, right? Are you following the right guidelines, right? So that is their purpose. So they increase the case workers. And from my experience, because most of our customer is facing this compliance check, because why I am getting customer, if somebody get a compliance check, they will come to me. So we started helping them, right? And we closely observe what is the process, how they are going, and we know the outcome as well, right? And we have the case studies of, like in my experience in the last 1 year, I saw 80 of my customer got a digital compliance check.
Oh my God, okay.
Right?
Can I just stop you for a second? Because you are talking so much about the case studies that you have seen, or because you're working with the top solicitors, you may have seen number of case studies, right? So can you give an example of when a home office was probing the employers for it and when they had to prove something which they did not have? Any case studies that you like to share?
There are three stages. Like the first stage is like pre-check. That means when you apply for a sponsorship license, you have a company, you need an immigrant worker. So when you apply for the license, that time you are expected to get a home office check.
So today, at the moment, I don't have any license. And if I want to become a license sponsor, it means from day one, I need to be ready. I should be digitally
So before
compliant.
even when you put your application, the first thing you will get is like you get an email from the case worker saying that they'll ask you the screenshot of the HR system.
Okay.
Right? That is called pre-check. Right? And if you pass the exam, if you clear the thing, you got your sponsorship license number, SPL number, then when you apply for if they do it before pre-check, it's fine. They don't check for at least one year. But for the companies who haven't done these things, right, who got license without the pre-check, when they apply for a COS, right, when they apply for a COS, that time there is a more probability that, why he's applying now, they'll start probing the company, right? And if they are renewing the application, right? So all these things, and above all, they can randomly come. And remember, they don't need to give a prior appointment for you to come and do it.
They don't give any prior appointment?
They don't need to. But luckily in this country, most of the time, like 70% of the time, they will give a notice. They don't directly come and disturb your business. They will ask you to send the evidence. They'll send an email. You will get an email from the complaints team. They'll ask some set of 8 records, 8 evidences, like the records, whatever we mentioned, right? They'll ask you to provide the screenshot of the system, right? You need to reply within 5 days, right? And once you provide, if the evidence are satisfactory, there is a luck, then they may straight away approve it. Otherwise, they will fix the appointment. They will send you a Teams invite. So the customer has to appear before the screen. They have to show it in the screen, like
including the bank statement.
Yes, that is. I'll come to the point later. Some additional challenges for now. So the basic complaint check itself, they have a challenge. So they have to provide screenshot within 5 working days. Right? So you have to set up your software. You have to put all the records. You have to fill the timesheets. Right? And all these things. And if you don't do the right to work check, nobody can help. Right? I can help with the software, bring you complaints, but if you don't do the right to work check, it is a difficult thing.
I have a question here. You are talking about more of like digital meetings which are being set, online meeting like Teams meeting or Zoom meeting,
80%
whatever.
are online,
Okay.
but 20% chance they will come to you.
Have you seen a case, or when you were working with the solicitors, where they came to the official address without giving any notice? Have they done it?
Even last week there are two
Really?
of our retail customers. They are close by. See, basically, if a caseworker coming to check one particular company, right?
Yeah.
They can finish another 2 audits in the same day. So if you are unlucky day, if they come for a building where there's a top floor, there's a company operating a license, they come for that interview, and you are close by, so obviously they can walk in and they can do the checks, right? So you can expect checks anytime, right? And moreover, like previously, like 2 years ago, there were very less number of case workers in home office, right? We know the most of the names because we came to know right from our customer, okay, this particular person came. But nowadays,
because there's so many
every time we saw new people. I could see like 50 to 60 people are new people doing the complaints. Like, and once the task force in full action, if the 1,000 people on board, once they get the finance for the 1,000 people, right? Then literally everybody will get the complaint checks. It's not to threaten you or something, but I'm highlighting the problem.
No, right? What you're doing is right thing. So again, a warning message or an important message for you guys. If you are in the UK, if you want to stay here legally, there will be no problem at all. If you get into anything which is illegal, the examples that Naga was saying, if you're not compliant, whether you're working for illegal company or a company who are not compliant enough, you will be at risk. So make sure, be informed. If you're informed, then only you can take a decision. Now, through this video, the whole idea is to pass the message to you guys, because in the last, I don't know, from almost a year now, I had been getting calls and messages about, the COS is being cancelled or company's license is cancelled, and because of that, there's so many people get impacted because the employees were not aware that the employer was not following all the compliance check process, and on that you just get 60 days to find another job for yourself if you're on a skilled visa. Otherwise you have to leave country. And I know personally a lot of people who booked my session, they had to go, and they were literally saying we didn't know anything about the company, that they are not compliant enough.
I categorize this problem into two different. See, 50% of the people, they are not aware of the process. That is very poor thing, right? They need to see the home office when they grant the license, right? It send you all the documents.
Right.
So you have to read the document, understand the duties. Then only once you sign agreement saying that I will follow all the duties, they give the license, right? But if you say that I'm not aware of the process.
So this is the employer's fault, right? They should be reading it, they should be knowing the process, and they should be following it, and then only they should be hiding immigrant.
And remaining 50 people, they know the process. They say like, when there is an audit, that time we can see. They say, okay, they will give 5 days time, we can buy the software that time, or we can maintain manually, right? So they think in all the way, right? And the third thing is like, they don't have the right solicitor relationship, right? So few people, they started going with I would say like some their known solicitors who are not helping them in the right way. Like I worked with the top people, right? They give a clear guideline saying that this is the process, and we get those customer detail initially. Like so they say, okay, you have to follow this particular process. You have to do the right to work check. But there are solicitors, in my experience, they don't even teach what is right to work to their clients. Right, so when you choose your immigration partner, like your solicitor or anything, right, better go with the people who are authorized to do it and who are top in the industry, right? Otherwise, if you want to save little money on that, I'm sorry, like it will lead into a lot of, if you get penalties or anything, right, you will lose the business, right? You are bringing somebody from India or Sri Lanka or Pakistan, right? Think about their career, their life, right? Because of the small things, you are giving them opportunity, you are giving them salary, all this good. But because of this small careless mistake, your business gets spoiled, right?
So again, a big message here, important message here for all the guys. If you are a new employer, or if you are already a licensed employer but you were not aware of the process, or if you want to get in touch with the expert, maybe just you can scan the barcode, I believe.
I'll leave my contact details below. Like you can share my WhatsApp number
and also like Naga was saying in his introduction, he works with the top solicitors. If you guys want any help, if you need any kind of
I can redirect to the right people. I can recommend some of the top solicitors. Like I don't give one name, so I'll give some list of names where you can go speak with them and then think. And like if it is related to digital complaints, like if it is a small query, you can reach out to me in my official WhatsApp number. I'll try to answer your queries, right?
Okay, good. Naga, I think this was such a useful session for me myself. I'm learning the whole process because I'm not a licensed employer till now, but it's a good learning. If at all I have to do that, I will definitely come to you. And if you guys are watching, if you need Naga's help, you can as well.
And I'll tell you a simple thing, like for employers, like if you are running a company, start reading about this thing. Right, I'll share some important links to Sarika, which she will put it in her description. Like there are annexure D, there are a list of duties like sponsorship duties, record keeping duties, and reporting duties. So read about the thing. I share this. I have a small PDF created for my customer.
Okay.
So I'll give it the document to the customer, ask them to print out and keep it in their shelf.
Right.
So that every day you read this one, right? So you have to follow this process. Like whatever software. You can explore the market, which is the best software, whether it is compatible with the digital compliance check. You can go for it. And if you still want to maintain manually, it is allowed. Manual process still allowed, but that will take you additional risk, right? And for the employees, right? Please discuss with your employer, right? Whether they have the proper compliance in place. And if your employer is asking you to follow the timesheet and follow the process, you please help your employee. Because we saw many employers complaining that my staffs are reluctant to fill the timesheets. So my software give a self-service to the employees. So if they are using my software, every employee will get their own login details. So all they have to do is that at least daily once go and fill the timesheet, which take only 30 seconds to fill a timesheet, start time and end time, right? But employees are reluctant to do this thing, right? So help your employees. It's not only your employee problem; it's your problem. So you and your employer together, if you follow the legalities, regulations, and compliance, then your life is safe.
It's only for people who are immigrants, right? Who are on skilled visa. Or, for example, say I'm not on a visa now. So if I'm working for a licensed sponsor, do I have to still fill the time?
As per Home Office, the timesheet and this complaint process for all the employees.
For all.
If the company is having 2 migrant employees and 10 British employees, they have to maintain this for all the 12 employees.
Okay. So it's for everyone actually.
It's for everyone. When if the company is having a license, they have to maintain this records for all these things. And they're asking only basic things like emergency contact. Why they are asking the emergency? Why it's so important? It is if they got some emergency.
Sure.
If you keep your records in the shop and they have a problem at night 11 o'clock, you have to go and open the shop, get the paper and see who is the emergency contact. So you have to have available. Our software is accessible all out globe. Right? It's a digital platform, so you can access anywhere.
So you're talking a lot about your software, Let's talk about the cost as well. Is it affordable or not? Because if it's the small employers who are facing problems, it's also because maybe they don't have that big budget like the big employers, right? So what kind of budget your software falls into?
So basically, like ours is, I would say, like the cheapest one in the market with the right amount of information, which is approved. It's Home Office normally don't approve the softwares, right? But 80 case studies I did. I can challenge. I have a case studies of 80 customers. So Home Office saw my software 80 times, and they never complained about my software, right? So I can probably say, like, if you are showing UKVI screen to the Home Office, like that confidence on your company is little increase. But at the same time, they also check whether you know about the software. Home Office know that this software has all the features. At the same time, during your complaints check, you as a user should know how to operate the software.
True.
Right?
How did you develop this software?
See, basically, I came as an immigrant.
Yes.
Right? And I'm in the last 6 years, I'm working with all these companies, right? So I have to fill the timesheet. So every time I'm also asking my boss, like, why I'm filling timesheet? Right? They say, like, I got a right sponsor, right? So he told, like, there is a process and this thing. And moreover, like 3 years ago, we tried to apply license for one of our friend, right? So he wanted to set up his company. So we went to one solicitor and unfortunately, they scheduled the interview. Right? So the solicitor told, no, nowadays they are not checking the check, so you can directly apply. So he applied the thing, he paid the fees, and they got the interview. The interview, they asked the same question. So how do you track the visa expiry? My friend couldn't answer.
Right.
But you know what happened? That caseworker helped my friend. He told, at least you use Outlook, set a reminder in your Outlook, so that because he's helping. So, so their objective is not to cancel your license. Their objective is to educate. The objective is to make you follow the rules, right? So that got failed. Then I started thinking like, why this digital complaint so important, right? Then as I told, right? So I'm doing IT services for solicitors, right? Then they also told the problem statement, like Naga, like you can do this kind of software, which
so
is
you developed this software.
So I worked with the top solicitor. I go to their office, like they gave me a lot of documents. I read, right? Then I developed the POC. Then I showcase to them. They give corrections. So it took almost 1 year to get the goodwill of top solicitor. They don't simply recommend me, right? Because they have so many customers. If they recommend a wrong product, right, their reputation is in stake.
Yeah, that's true. So guys, just to let you know that Naga is the founder of this software. However, he is also working a full-time like IT like me. Yeah, we all are IT consultants. And he developed this because he's an immigrant. He knows the pain. I created this YouTube channel to help the immigrants because I went through the pain.
So that's why when you ask for the let's immediately okay, I'm coming, so we can do it, right?
Yeah, true. So that's the reason he created this software to help the small licensed employers, who want to work their company or run their company in a right way, along with the immigrants who are being employed by them. Yeah, so this is all to help you guys.
And one special offer for you, Sarika, like for your subscribers, right?
You did not tell the cost, by the way. Did you tell the cost?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Like it starts with £5 per year. So like if you have a small company, if you have only less than 5 employees, right? Our basic plans is just £25 per month. Or if you go for an annual plan, it is £250 per annum. So that is a way. So it is just like £4 per user, which is like a 1 cup of coffee in UK, right? So it is the most affordable.
It's pretty affordable, yeah.
So it is just £4 per user.
I was thinking 1,000 already, because I thought because it's thousands and thousands of pounds, that's why people are.
And moreover, like we give a 14 days money back guarantee. So after they buy the product, if they don't like the product, we'll give 100% refund, whether it's monthly subscription or annual subscription.
Doesn't
if
matter.
my customer is not happy, I give full refund of the thing. And one special offer for your audience or subscribers, I can say, like if you want to do a complaints check, not the product, I'm not telling you to buy the software, but if you have any software or if you have maintaining records manually, and if you want to check whether everything is in compliant with the thing, reach out to me. I can dedicate somebody from my team who can do the complaint check process. That itself take 45 minutes to go through your records, and they will say, okay, you are 80% complaint or 90% complaint, and if you are missing something, they will guide you. Right? This service I can offer for your subscribers.
So that's the bonus now to watch this video, guys. And
if you go to any solicitor, it's a solicitor job, but still I'm offering only on the digital complaints.
Thank you very much, Naga. So guys, make sure you take advantage of it. I believe we had covered almost everything that we have to do. We discussed in depth about the digital compliance, what are the things they have to do, both from employers and employer. They should be knowing their responsibilities, right? Is there any final words you want to say before we wrap this video?
Follow the process, stay compliant, stay safe,
and scan the barcode.
Yeah, so any doubts, so feel free to reach out to me. So I'll leave my contact details, like my WhatsApp number and my team's WhatsApp number here. So reach out to me in WhatsApp. I'll try to answer your queries as soon as possible.
Thank you very much, Naga. Thank you for coming and educating my audience and even me. Thank you very much.
So much.
And all the best to you as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.